Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be answering some of your guys' questions that you asked me over on my Instagram account. I realized it has been a minute since I've actually done a Q&A and actually sat down and answered your guys' questions, so I thought that I would give you guys the opportunity to ask me things. So I did post something on my Instagram story. If you want to take part in future videos like this, future Q&As, make sure to follow me over there. Also, make sure to follow me on TikTok if you're not already, because I post on there like a lot, like once or twice a day. So if you want more content from me, make sure to go check me out over there. And yeah, we got some really fun questions today that I'm really excited to answer, so I'm just gonna get right on into the video. The first question I actually got a few times, and it is, how are you finding your way through university / how is college going? Okay, so I did have like a whole video that I did about like my first semester experience at UBC, but I must say my experience that I'm having this semester is extremely different. So I was actually really glad that this question got asked so that I could kind of clarify, because last semester I did have some not so good things to say about the university and my experience, but this semester is much better. I ended up dropping my hardest class because I took physics last semester, and then I was going to take physics this semester as well, which I didn't need, so I ended up dropping it to take a different class instead, which has been an immense relief. And I think the university has also been doing a really good job of like assigning less coursework to us. I know that they did say that they wanted to assign less coursework, so it's been going much better. Things have been going really well, and it is definitely less stressful, and I'm definitely having more free time, which is awesome. So while last semester was not the best, this semester has definitely been quite a bit better, probably as well as I could hope that it would go in the online environment. So I am really happy about that, and just kind of hope that it continues to go along this way. And then hopefully for next semester, you know, we'll be able to start in person again, fingers crossed. But yeah, so far it's going really well. The next question is, what is your favorite book series? Which, this is a bad question to ask me because I have like 20 and I will sit here forever answering it, so I'm not gonna do that. But probably my favorite book series at the moment are the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare, and then not a series, but this book is a standalone, and it is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuinn, I think is her name. So that's not a series, that's a standalone, but those are all in my top 3. And I don't want to get into it anymore because like I said, we'll sit here and talk about it forever. But if you want to know more about like what my favorite books are, like what books I recommend, I have a YouTube video about it, as well as a lot of videos on my TikTok. It's basically what my TikTok account is about. So if that is something that you are interested in seeing, then you should definitely follow me there or check out that video, because I recommend a lot more in that video. The next question is, how do you balance schoolwork and YouTube? So this can be a little bit difficult, and I'm planning on making a whole video on how I time manage and things like that, because I am in college and I do YouTube as well as TikTok, and I also have a job as well. So a lot of these things take up quite a bit of time, especially when you are in college having so much homework. So I am planning on making like a whole video of like all the tips that I have, but I want to say the biggest one is definitely using my planner. I like live off of this thing. I like highlight things. I always highlight like the most important task of the day, and usually I will highlight tasks that I know I'm like notorious for putting off. Like for example, working on my lab, I am notorious for putting that off. So as you can see, like I highlighted that here, and I like to plan out my weeks like ahead, and obviously as things come up I will add things to it, but I like to have most things on this week before the week even starts, so that way I stay on top of everything and then I don't forget anything, because in college there's often a lot of little things I feel like that are very easy to forget about, and you know, I don't want to do that. So keeping a planner is really useful, as well as just kind of planning out your day in sections. Like I know on days that I'm really super busy, I don't do this every day because it can get a little bit overwhelming and you know, not very fun to do every day, but on days where I know I'm super busy, I will like plan things out. Like I'll be like, okay, you know, I'll work on this from this time to this time, and then afterwards I'll work on this from this time to this time, and it just really ensures that I have time to get everything done, because I've kind of like mapped out my day in terms of times. But again, don't do that every day, because sometimes I just like to go with the flow and work on kind of what I feel like in that moment. However, on some of the super busy days, that is an essential. The next question that I got is, what is one goal that you want to reach in 2021? I actually really like this question because I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I didn't really set any New Year's resolutions because I feel like they're just very unrealistic, and you know, just puts a lot of pressure on your goals, which like I don't want to do. One of my goals was to make and save more money. I actually made like a whole video on how I'm planning on doing that. And then I also have a goal to just focus on my YouTube channel a lot more, because I feel like in the second half of 2020, starting college, and then I also moved as well, I feel like I really did not focus on my YouTube channel enough, and it is something that I really truly love doing, and it's something I'm super passionate about, and it is something that I have been working on focusing a lot more on again, because it just makes me super happy, and I love doing it. So I'm still working on that one a little bit, getting back into it, and this kind of goes back to the last question of making sure that I have time to film and edit and do all that stuff alongside with all of my other responsibilities. So that has definitely been a work in progress, but I feel like things are going a lot better, especially than they were in comparison to last semester. The next question asks, if you could travel right now, where would you go? This is a great question. I love this question because during this pandemic, I have really wanted to travel because I have been stuck in my house for a very, very long time. So I have like all these plans, but right now I do really want to go to Europe with one of my friends. We've been like talking about doing it, and like actually like planning it for real. This is not just like one of those like fake trip plans. Like we've been like genuinely planning this, and so really that would be my next trip, hopefully, that I can do once all of this pandemic stuff goes away, hopefully soon. But the places on there that I really want to travel the most is definitely Greece. I really want to go to Greece. That's probably my top travel destination. And then also I want to go to France really badly. I know that's kind of like two very basic places. I know some of my friends always tell me that like I plan super basic trips, but there are two places that I still really want to go, as well as like other places too. Like I really want to go to London, I really want to go to Italy, all those really fun places. So hopefully I get the opportunity to do those things soon. I've always wanted to see Europe. It has been one of my top travel destinations forever, and then especially just being in the pandemic, it has made me want to travel so much more. So I'm really looking forward to maybe doing something like that in the future. The next question I got was, what has been your hardest course at university so far? So I know I mentioned a little bit earlier in the video that physics was definitely my hardest course by far. I just had a really hard time with it. I did physics in high school, didn't have that hard of a time with it. I don't know if it was just the online environment, or if it was the professor, or if it was the lab that we had to do associated with it. I don't know what it was, but overall it just was not a good experience. It was really bad. But after that, what I want to say, probably math. I had to take math last semester, and I had to take math this semester as well, and I feel like, well, it's not terrible, and I'm definitely able to pull it off. It is still a lot of work, and I have to put a lot of time into it in order to be able to pull it off. So I'd probably say math as being my current hardest class, but physics being my like worst class overall since I started at university. And the last question, which I think is so much fun, and it is, what is my favorite Netflix show? So I want to say one of my favorite shows on Netflix right now is Jane the Virgin. I am on my third time of watching it because I'm watching it with one of my friends right now, and I've seen it twice before this, so I'm currently on like my third watch through of it. I love that show. I think it's amazing. It is 5 seasons, super good. If you haven't seen it yet, I definitely recommend it. I'm also watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine right now with my friend. I know I haven't seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine yet. Do not come for me. But I'm watching it right now, and I am super into that right now, so I'm gonna add that to the list. As well as Modern Family. I know that it hasn't been on Netflix for super long, or at least Canadian Netflix, it hasn't been on for super long, but I watched it like before it was on Netflix, like when it was on TV, but now it's on Netflix, and I recently rewatched it on Netflix, and it is such a good show. Again, definitely like super sitcom style, but super great. I generally tend to gravitate towards more sitcom type shows, So yeah, that's kind of what I've been watching lately on Netflix and am loving. Alright, so that's going to be all for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it and that maybe you learned something about me. I love doing these Q&As. I think they're so much fun and I love getting to answer you guys' questions. I kind of give you a little bit of a mini life update kind of at the same time. Yeah, so I really hope that you guys enjoyed and that you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!